Hello and welcome. Something happened to Monty Miller, John Hamm, at the end of Landman Season 2, Episode 9, but it's not entirely clear whether he lived or died. As the head of Tommy Norris's Billy Bob Thornton oil company, MTX, Monty is one of the most important characters in Landman. He makes the big decisions about which wells to drill, which rigs to work on, and his story brings the high-stakes business side of the oil industry into focus. He was also responsible for the massive payout to Arahan, Paulina Chavez, as part of her settlement. However, that payout seemingly caused his third heart attack. By the end of Landman Season 1, Episode 9, it seemed like Monty was preparing to make some major life changes due to his heart issues. He named Tommy as the new vice president of operations for MTX, offered Rebecca Kayla Wallace the job of vice president of exploration, and even mentioned stepping back from his role to spend more time with Kami, Demi Moore, and his family. Monty's heart rate increased despite these changes, and just before the episode ended, he appeared physically ill. Landman gave strong indications about what might have happened to him, despite the fact that his fate is still unknown. His deteriorating condition suggests that he is either dying or has already passed away. Monty himself admitted he had a busted, rotten heart, and the constant stress of managing a multi-billion-dollar oil company wasn't helping. His increased heart rate and physical discomfort could indicate that he suffered yet another heart attack immediately after his third bypass, which would be catastrophic. If Monty isn't already dead from his heart complications, he's almost certainly at death's door. Another hint in Landman Episode 9 suggests that Monty's time is running out. The morning after his heart rate spiked, Tommy received a call from Kami, and his response, "I'm sorry to hear that. What can I do? Is there any way I can help?" suggests that Monty has died. Additionally, the coyote that Tommy saw being shot at the end of the episode could be symbolic, representing Tommy taking Monty's place at MTX. If Landman truly killed off Monty, there are a few possible reasons for this decision. While Taylor Sheridan has a knack for securing major stars for his shows, Monty's role may not have been substantial enough to keep Hamm around long-term. Since Monty is a side character in Tommy's story, Hamm may have only agreed to a single-season, supporting role. It's also possible that Monty's death was a narrative choice to open up new storytelling opportunities. Throughout Landman Season 1, Monty has established how difficult and stressful the financial side of the oil industry is. If he dies and Tommy has to take over that responsibility, the stakes will be even higher in a potential new season. Monty's death, if it happened, would have far-reaching effects on Landman. He was solely managing MTX's corporate affairs, and now, both Rebecca and Tommy, given their recent promotions, will have to take over his responsibilities. This means Tommy and Rebecca will be working even closer together, which could lead to more conflicts between them. Without Monty to rely on, Tommy's job will become even more stressful and demanding, setting the stage for an intense Landman Season 2. His expanded leadership role could also significantly impact other characters. Angela, Ali Larder, already complains about how much Tommy works, and those concerns won't go away now that he's a vice president. Meanwhile, Cooper, Jacob Laughlin, starting his own oil company, puts him in direct competition with MTX, adding more tension to the Norris family. Kami might also have a bigger role in the next installment of Landman, whether by taking on more responsibilities at MTX or figuring out what to do without Monty. There's also the moment when Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones visits Monty's hospital room to offer advice, telling him to spend more time with his children. However, he then cites his own example of buying an NFL team and employing his kids, a model that doesn't seem very applicable to Monty's situation. After Jones leaves, Monty appears hesitant to take his advice. He blames his third coronary bypass on a bum heart, rather than the stress of his business, and worries that he'd have no purpose if he retired. That said, Monty does reluctantly tell Tommy, "I am planning on stepping back and making you vice president of operations." But in a twist, he also offers Tommy and Rebecca. A VP spot is offered to Rebecca, who is the shrewdest negotiator Monty has ever seen. "She's an absolute killer," Monty says. In the face of Tommy's protests, Monty suggests that he learn how to work with the lawyer because she's sticking around. Ariana is spooked when Cooper starts talking about their shared future, given that they've only kissed a few times and things are still so weird. He has something to say, and she tells him to concentrate on his own life. "I have a dream, but I don't know if I have the courage to chase it just for me," he tells her, adding that he's already risked his life and quit his job for her because he's in love with her. "You want evidence that I won't give up?" he asks, lifting his shirt to show her the giant purple bruise across his chest. "My body is my proof. I took one look at you and I fell, and I'm still falling." She starts kissing him, but then the doorbell rings, interrupting them again. She grumbles, "God is begging us not to do this." After she dispatches the door-to-door salesman, she climbs on top of Cooper and declares that they're going to find out if they truly have chemistry. Then, her son starts crying from his crib. This is God's last warning. "You're stuck with me if you don't take it," she quips as they continue to kiss. Cooper is more than okay with that. Tommy returns home from seeing Monty to find that Angela has made Pella and invited Ryder to stay for dinner. Just like in a previous episode, Tommy makes a big fuss about how Angela went over the top with her expectations for the meal. When they talk about it outside, he tells her he's happy to have her do whatever she wants for dinner as long as he doesn't have to participate. "I think we're supposed to side with him on this, but do whatever you want. But don't expect me to take part" is a bummer of a thing to hear from your partner. The episode ends with an interesting sequence where Tommy is standing in his backyard, after presumably hearing the news of Monty's death. He looks contemplative and sees a coyote out in the field beyond the yard. He studies it for a moment before the neighbor comes out and shoots it with a rifle, killing it for preying on her pet. There's important symbolism here relating to the coyote and its death, which connects to Tommy's narrative in the coming episodes. It wasn't even societal norms that bugged me about their relationship as much as the trauma they both shared. I thought their relationship could be nothing but unhealthy because they both had such fresh trauma that they hadn't properly processed. Ariana lost her husband and the father of her child, while Cooper watched 3 men die and was nearly beaten to death. It didn't seem like a great foundation for a healthy relationship. I thought Cooper and Ariana's romance should have waited for season 2 so they could have more time to grieve. A pair of young people clinging to each other to avoid thinking about a traumatic event don't have a realistic view of the future. If Cooper and Ariana were just trying to block out their pain, she wouldn't have even entertained the idea that Cooper might not love her. The show has convinced me that Ariana and Cooper are more than capable of handling their relationship in a mature way, and I agree with Ariana that it's worth figuring out even if they end up realizing it was a mistake down the line. I now think their relationship is at least worth exploring. Ariana's explanation of her relationship with Cooper made their story going forward much easier to understand. Now, they're not just 2 kids stupidly falling in love at the wrong time. They're 2 adults trying to make sense of a whirlwind situation. Likewise, if Cooper gets targeted by Manuel and Antonio's friends again, it won't be the result of a mistake. It will be the result of a conscious decision to give their relationship a chance, despite the odds. I think their relationship just got a lot more compelling, and I fully support whatever the show has in store for Cooper and Ariana. Ryder takes Anley on a date to go swimming in a reservoir lit by the gas flare from a nearby oil derrick. She decides that she likes him and that she's going to test him, so she brings him to the nursing home where she and her mom have been volunteering. She's delighted when he enthusiastically plays a game with some of the residents. She confides in one of the older women that she wanted to make sure Ryder was interested in her for more than just sex. The hour seems like a turning point for Ariana and Cooper, so we couldn't wait to talk to Paulina Chavez, who plays Ariana, about what might come next. Read on for her thoughts about why Cooper became Ariana's rock, and how Billy Bob Thornton influences the show. Likes his Mexican food and more. I've changed my mind about Ariana and Cooper Norris's relationship after Landman Season 1, Episode 8, and now I think they deserve to be together. While I didn't agree with it then, I've changed my mind now. I'm not the only person who had a problem with Ariana and Cooper getting into a relationship so quickly after the blowout. Rebecca, Kayla Wallace, was furious with them, and even tried to intimidate Cooper into signing the settlement agreement for much less than it was worth. Elio's friends even tried to kill Cooper for growing close to Ariana, and even Tommy, Billy Bob Thornton, couldn't understand why they were together. The couple, however, managed to change his mind in Landman Episode 8, and they actually changed mine as well. At first, I thought Cooper and Ariana were rushing into their relationship. As Rebecca pointed out, in the span of just 3 weeks, Ariana went from being married to Elio to sleeping in the same bed as Cooper. Their entire relationship felt rushed, which wasn't helped by the fact that there were constant outside pressures putting them under even more stress from Manuel, J. A. El and Antonio, Octavio Rodriguez, constantly trying to scare Cooper away to the settlement Rebecca had been trying to get Ariana to sign. Cooper and Ariana just didn't seem to have enough time to actually form a strong bond. The oil tycoon is really angry when he hears that Ariana knew to counter because Cooper was there, but he agrees to the amount as long as she'll sign a non-disclosure agreement. But then Nathan informs Monty that Ariana won't sign unless all 3 families get $1 million each, and the gazillionaire goes nuclear. He agrees, but wants to fire Cooper. Rebecca points out that's wrongful termination and illegal, but it doesn't matter because Cooper quits right then and there. After he hangs up, Monty's heart starts doing weird things in his chest, and I'm pretty sure it's not growing 3 sizes. In a last-ditch effort, Rebecca explains that Ariana can never sue MTEX for anything if she agrees to take the money. Ariana asks Cooper what to do, and he advises her to sign the agreement. Rebecca is a big joke to both of them on her way out, though Nathan is much kinder. "You quit your job over me?" Ariana asks in tears after they've gone. "I'm going to run an oil company one day, and I'm not going to run it like that." They're both having some pretty big emotions as she keeps crying, lamenting that it's too soon to feel what I feel for you. But when Cooper suggests that they wait a while, she says she doesn't want to, and that she's going to fix up the spare room for him. Later, when he's in pain as he tries to put his shirt on after a shower, she comes to help him. She admits that she doesn't see the upside of his new situation out of work, beat up, and living with her.